And off. Unalienable Right breaks first and takes the early lead going to that first jump. And he's opened up about 8 lengths on the field now. At the first jump, Unalienable Right has a commanding lead. Next on the inside, Into Temptation, right alongside his Glacier Point. And the early trailer at this time is Yorkin. Up over the second fence, 2 of the 14 complete. And it is Unalienable Right leading the way, going to the third of 14 fences. Into Temptation next, followed by Glacier Point. And trailing in the 4th spot is Yorkin. 3 of the 14 fences complete, heading to the top of the stretch for the first time. Galloping along with the lead is Unalienable Right with Tom Foley aboard. Coming now to the 4th fence into the stretch for the first time. Up over that one well. Glacier Point, Into Temptation next, and then Yorkin. Passing the finish line for the first time, into the 5th fence they go. Up over the 5th, Unalienable Right leading the way. Then from between horses, Into Temptation towards the inside, Yorkin, followed on the outside by Glacier Point. Heading around the turn and moving to the 6th of 14 fences. Onto the backstretch once more. Moving to the 6th, Unalienable Right, who's been there since the start, has a commanding lead. Next, Into Temptation, followed on the inside by Yorkin and Glacier Point. Up over the 6th, midway down the backstretch to the 7th fence they go. Unalienable Right has completed half the race and has the lead. And it is quite a commanding lead as they move to the 8th fence. Into Temptation is alongside of Yorkin. And then Glacier Point trailing in 4th. On the turn now to the 8th fence, up over that one. Unalienable Right still there, coming to the top of the stretch for the second time. Into Temptation, Yorkin are heads apart. And far back, Glacier Point. Into the stretch for the second time, to the 9th of 14 fences. And Unalienable Right up over the fence will move under the finish line for the second time. Yorkin's next, followed by Into Temptation and Glacier Point. 10 fences complete now. And heading around the turn, the quartet moves towards the backstretch for the last time. And Unalienable Right with Tom Foley aboard, still with that big lead. Yorkin is next in second, followed by Into Temptation third. Far, far back from the field is Glacier Point. Moving to the 11th of 14 fences that way. And Unalienable Right in front. Next comes Yorkin, followed by Into Temptation and Glacier Point. 3 fences from home. Now 2 fences remaining. And less than a half mile to the finish line. And Unalienable Right moves around the turn and heads towards the 13th fence. Moving to that fence, midway on the turn, Yorkin takes second, Into Temptation third. And up over the 13th in this Cathedral aisle, Unalienable Right, with that commanding lead, comes to the top of the lane for the final time. 14th fence coming up. In second position is Yorkin, far back Into Temptation and Glacier Point. Here's the last fence. Up over that one, Unalienable Right, Tom Foley. Galloping now towards the finish line, an easy winner. Yorkin second. And under the finish line they go in this first, the Cathedral aisle. Loose horse, keep the gate shut, please.
And up over the 13th in this Cathedral aisle, Unalienable Right. With that commanding lead. York in second.
Oh shit.
Flag is up, and they're off. In the Budweiser Cup, first away, Northern Sky goes to the first fence with the lead. Eloy's Halo next in second, X-Zar third. Towards the outside now, moving up to the fourth spot, Chief Suspect. After that on the outside, Secret Initiative is next. Then you have Gullible. Dropping back now suddenly was Chief Suspect, and the early trailer is Bob's Verdict. 2 of the 14 fences complete. Moving into the turn. X-Zar shows the way, moving to the third fence. In second now, it's Northern Sky. And now you have a length back on the inside is Eloy's Halo next in third. A break of some 4 lengths. Back towards the inside, Secret Initiative, Bob's Verdict, Gullible, and Chief Suspect is 7th. Coming to the 4th of 14 fences, X-Zar leads the way, coming to the stretch for the first time and under the finish line for the first time. To the 5th fence they go. X-Zar leads the way. Northern Sky second. Eloy's Halo next in third. Then you have a break of some 4 lengths now back on the inside to Secret Initiative. After that, Gullible, 3 lengths back to Chief Suspect and Bob's Verdict. On to the backstretch to the 6th of 14 fences. Straightening away on the backstretch. X-Zar shows the way, has built up about a 6-length lead. Northern Sky next in second. Length and a half back to Eloy's Halo third, up over that 6th fence. 4 lengths back on the inside, you have Secret Initiative, who's followed 3 lengths on the inside by Bob's Verdict. Continuing their run to the next fence on the turn. Approaching the 8th of 14 fences, X-Zar leads the way, about by 6, maybe 8 lengths at this time as they move to the 8th fence. Then Northern Sky, followed by Eloy's Halo, 3 back to Secret Initiative, Gullible. After that, Chief Suspect, and back in last position, Bob's Verdict. Into the stretch for the second time, and heading towards the 9th of 14 fences. Over the 9th, X-Zar, still there in front. In second, Northern Sky. To his outside, Eloy's Halo, then Secret Initiative, followed by Chief Suspect, who's alongside of Gullible, 5 back to the trailer, Bob's Verdict. Ten fences complete as they move around the turn and race towards the backstretch for the last time. X-Zar in front by about 4. Northern Sky galloping along in second. Eloy's Halo is in third. A break of 5 now. Secret Initiative moving to the outside for the run down the backstretch is Chief Suspect. Break of 6 back to Gullible, and being eased on the backstretch was Bob's Verdict. Midway down the backstretch for the last time. Moving now to the 12th of 14 fences. X-Zar has not been caught yet, still in front by 6. Northern Sky driving hard. On the outside, gaining some ground, is Chief Suspect. Half mile to the finish. Into the turn for the last time. Approaching the 13th of 14 fences. X-Zar is still there. Driving hard, Chief Suspect on the outside. Over that 13th fence, Chief Suspect has taken over second. Northern Sky back to third. And after that, it's Secret Initiative in fourth. Into the stretch for the final time. Exar trying to hold on. Chief Suspect under Court Mazzullo driving on the outside. Here's the last fence coming up, and Exar still there. It is Chief Suspect next. Northern Sky third. Under the finish line, it will be Exar the winner. Finishing second, Chief Suspect. Northern Sky third.
Driving hard, Chief Suspect on the outside. Over that 13th fence, Chief Suspect is taking over second, Northern Sky back to third. And after that, here's the last fence coming up. And Exar still there. It is Chief Suspect next, Northern Sky third.
The whole way.
Ladies and gentlemen, returning to the winner's circle, the unofficial winner, number 8, Exar, with rider Roger Horgan. Moving into line, and they're off. Brook No Nonsense going for the early lead. On the outside, they're solid as a rock, now moving up alongside of Chris Kringle as they approach the first fence. Next in the fourth position, Batchwood, and a length and a half back to Country Cousin, heading to the second fence. All have completed that one nicely and head to the turn. To the third fence, Brook No Nonsense leading the way as they enter the far turn. In second, solid as a rock, Chris Kringle. Down on the inside, third. After that, Country Cousin now has moved to fourth, and Batchwood is back in fifth. Up over that third fence. They've all completed that one, and they approach the top of the stretch for the first time. Brook No Nonsense has that advantage. Solid as a rock, next in second, a length back to Chris Kringle third. To his outside comes Country Cousin, and Batchwood is fifth, only about 5 lengths from the lead. And as they go over that fourth fence and come through the stretch for the first time, it's still Brook No Nonsense going to the fifth fence with the advantage. Solid as a rock second. On the outside, Country Cousin now has moved up. Then Chris Kringle alongside, and Batchwood is fifth. Continuing their run around the turn and approaching the backstretch. Moving towards the sixth fence as they race to the backstretch. Brook No Nonsense leading the way. In second, solid as a rock. After that, racing as a team, Chris Kringle and Country Cousin, and then Batchwood in fifth. Up over that sixth fence, midway down the backstretch and heading to the seventh that way. Brook No Nonsense takes the field to the seventh fence and up over that one in front by about 2. Solid as a rock second by the same. Then Batchwood is now moving up between Chris Kringle and Country Cousin. As they continue their run around the turn once more and heading towards the 8th of 14 fences. Brook No Nonsense, the early leader, up over the 8th. Solid as a rock, edging a bit closer. Break of 3, back to Chris Kringle. After that, Country Cousin and Batchwood back in 5th now. Into the stretch for the second time. And approaching the 9th of 14 fences. Brook No Nonsense joined on the outside by Solid as a Rock. Those two come through the stretch once again. Then Country Cousin racing as a team alongside of Chris Kringle and Batchwood in 5th. Up over the 10th fence. The field of 5 have completed 10 of the 14 fences into that turn now. Brook No Nonsense on even terms with Solid as a Rock. Chris Kringle next in third. After that, Country Cousin and Batchwood fifth, only 5 lengths from the leaders as they head to the backstretch for the last time. The 11th of 14 fences coming up. On the inside, Brook No Nonsense. Solid as a rock right there. Those two battling it out on the front end. 2 back to Country Cousin. Chris Kringle next and Batchwood. The 11th fence coming up over that one. Well, moving midway down the backstretch for the last time. Coming to the 12th fence. And as they approach the 12th and go over that one, Brook No Nonsense slight lead. Solid as a rock next. Less than a half mile to the finish. Heading around the far turn to the 13th fence. Brook No Nonsense, hanging tough, solid as a rock. Country Cousin third. Chris Kringle next. Batchwood is fifth. Up over the 13th and coming to the top of the lane for the last time. Brook No Nonsense now shaking clear from solid as a rock, but here comes a strong challenge. Chris Kringle splitting horses, straightening way into the stretch. Batchwood gains at the top of the stretch. Brook No Nonsense, Chris Kringle over the last fence. 50 yards from home, Brook No Nonsense, Country, Chris Kringle, Brook No Nonsense, and Chris Kringle up in the final strides. Brook No Nonsense second, Batchwood third.
Third, Chris Kringle next, Batchwood is fifth, up over the 13th and coming to the top of the lane for the last time. Brook No Nonsense. Chris Kringle, Brook No Nonsense, and Chris Kringle up for the final strides.
Flag is up, and they're off in the Regents Bank Holiday Cup as they race towards the first jump that way. And out for the early lead. There goes Calliope taking the early advantage. Pleasant Parcel next over the first fence. And moving up on the inside, there goes Carson Beach. Over the second fence, Carson Beach now sprints to the front, takes the lead by a length as they go to the third fence. Calliope second, 5 lengths back to Pleasant Parcel. Next on the inside comes Bien Allure. As they head around that turn and over the third of 14 fences, Carson Beach leads the way. Calliope's next in second. Break of 4 lengths. Back now to Pleasant Parcel. Then on the inside, Bien Allure. Followed towards the inside by Sharp Face. Then on the outside, as they come through the stretch and up over the fourth, Carson Beach leads the way. Calliope next in second. Then Pleasant Parcel, followed by Bien Allure. After that, Sharp Face to the outside. As they continue their run, Mr. Fater next. And they move around the turn. Continuing their run around the turn, Field Day is trailing the field at this point. And the leaders are now stride for stride as they continue towards the backstretch and approach the 6th fence that way. Over the 6th, down on the inside, Carson Beach leads the way. After that, it's Calliope. 3 lengths back on the inside. Moving up now, there goes Bien Allure. After that, a length and a half. Sharp Face, Mr. Fater. Field Day, Pleasant Parcel, as they go around the turn and approach the 8th of 14 fences. Up over the 8th fence. And they've all cleared that one, and they head to the stretch for the second time. Calliope now forges to the front. Then on the inside, you have Mr. Fater as they come through the stretch once again. Calliope on even terms with Carson Beach. Down on the inside, Bien Allure. Mr. Fater moving up to the outside. Pleasant Parcel from between horses. You have Field Day moving up. As they move around the turn and head towards the backstretch for the last time. 10 fences complete. Down on the inside, leading the way, Carson Beach with a slight lead. Pressing harder on the outside, Calliope. Moving up on the outside, Mr. Fater into contention with Roger Horgan. Down towards the inside, it's Bien Allure. Continuing their run down the backstretch for the final time. 2 fences from home after this. Down on the inside, you have a battle on the front end now. Carson Beach alongside of Mr. Fater. Those two continue their turn around the far turn. And Mr. Fater at the 13th fence now forges to the front. Coming from the back of the pack, sharp face, driving hard. Carson Beach is next, 5 lengths back to Bien Allure. Straightening away into the home stretch for the final time. 14th and final fence coming up in the Regions Bank Cup. Up over that fence. Sharp face. Mr. Fater switching to the inside. Craig Thornton aboard. Sharp face to win the Regions Bank Holiday Cup. Finishing second, Mr. Fater, close for third between several horses.
Fater at the 13th fence now to the front. Coming from the back of the pack, sharp face, driving hard. Carson Beach up over that fence. Sharp face. Mr. Fater switching to the inside. Craig Thornton aboard. Sharp face to win the
And they're off. Swoop and Soar out for the early lead. Le Madou is in second. Red Hills third. Then a length back to Judith's Baby racing fourth over the first fence. Ice Bullet is fifth. After that, Echelmont sixth and a break of 5. Back to J.J. Amour, seventh and last in the early going. Over 2 fences now and heading towards the third on the turn. Around the turn they go. Swoop and Soar leads the way under Robert Massey as they approach the third fence. They've all completed that one nicely, and coming to the top of the stretch for the first time, Swoop and Soar shows the way. 2 lengths back now to Le Madou, next in second. Down on the inside is Red Hills moving well third over that fourth fence. Then on the outside, as they go by the stands and over the fifth fence, Swoop and Soar leads the way. Has it by a length and a half. Red Hills second. Echelmont up to third. Moving on the outside, Judith's Baby. From between horses, Le Madou. Then a break of 2 lengths back to Eckelmont. J.J. Amore and Ice Bullet onto the backstretch. To the 6th fence they go that way. Swoop and Soar maintaining a 2-length lead. Red Hills second as they approach the 6th fence. Towards the outside, it's Lumadou third. Length and a half back to Judith's Baby next in the 4th position. Down on the inside, Eckelmont 5th. Length and a half back to 6th, and J.J. Amore. Ice Bullet back in 7th and last at this time. 7 fences of the 14 are completed now. And they move towards the far turn. Swoop and Soar maintaining the advantage. Red Hills next in 2nd. On the outside, Judith's Baby moves up to 3rd. Lumadou is 4th. J.J. Amore 5th and on the move. Eckelmont next, and back in the 7th position, Ice Bullet. 8 of the 14 fences complete. Moving to the top of the stretch in the Juac Hollow for the 2nd time. And it is Swoop and Soar maintaining that advantage into the stretch. Over the 9th fence, does that one well. Red Hills next in 2nd. From between horses in 3rd is Judith's Baby. Then moving up, J.J. Amore. On the outside, here's Ice Bullet moving into contention. Then Eckelmont, and leaving the course now, Lumadou. Around the turn they go. And 9 and 10 fences complete, onto the backstretch for the final time. And Swoop and Soar has built up a 7-length lead. As they approach the backstretch for the last time, Red Hills next in 2nd, Ice Bullet next in 3rd. After that, a break of 2, J.J. Amore, Eckelmont next, and far back from the field, Judith's Baby. Over the 11th of 14 fences, they're on the backstretch for the final time, midway down the backstretch. Next fence coming up is the 12th. Swoop and Soar with the commanding lead, half mile from home. Red Hills next in 2nd. Ice Bullet is 3rd. J.J. Amore and Eckelmont. Around the far turn and approaching the 13th fence. And Swoop and Soar with the commanding lead at that fence. Ice Bullet on the outside now takes 2nd. And battling back is Red Hills, 5 lengths to J.J. Amore, Eckelmont. And far back, Judith's Baby straightening away into the home stretch. The 14th and last fence coming up. And Swoop and Soar under Robert Massey going wire to wire, and falling at that fence. Several falls. Red Hills and J.J. Amore under the line. Swoop and Soar the easiest winner. Ice Bullet second.
Swoop